Froggy. What's up? What's up?
It sucks. Whole thing sucks. Yeah. I have people on here.
We gotta have fun with it.
I know.
Logan, say something.
Hey,
Test.
What's up?
There we go. There we go.
we can hear.
Right.
What's going on, Logan? I appreciate you joining us tonight, man.
No problem, brother. Not a whole lot. Just chilling. Got back from the show this weekend. Just hanging out.
Where are you going this weekend?
This weekend we ain't got a show. Next weekend we'll be up in Allentown.
Oh.
We just got back from that 2-day show in Virginia, the 6 shows.
How'd y'all do?
We did pretty good. Marla picked up 2 grand wins on Sunday.
Nice.
We're going to get number 3 dog in the world. Art.
Hey.
Congratulations,
Had a pretty fun weekend.
What are you doing, Caleb?
I was
Caleb.
taking my phone case off so I could
Whatever you say, Pumpkin. Whatever you say.
All right, little frog.
The audio jack.
Let's see here. Where's Bruce?
Oh,
I tagged him.
let's see. Hey, y'all like baseball? Y'all like baseball?
Yeah.
Who's your team, Logan?
Being in North Carolina, I should say the Braves, but honestly, I like the way the Orioles are looking.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that because I'm a Rangers fan and they're playing right now.
Oh, yes, sir. The crazy thing is, I actually had some baseball cards, and I got a rookie Gunnar Henderson.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
I collect NFL sports cards, so like I'm doing here and there. I got football, baseball, basketball. I try to keep all under wraps. It's a lot to keep like under control though.
Man, we have so many cards. Me, my brother, and my dad, like from way long ago, man. Mm-hmm. I love it.
For good money as long as there's some conditions. I've been looking in the market stuff. It's insane how much those go for now.
Man, we got a whole like clear binder that we put them in, like little slots and things like that.
Right.
So I haven't been through it in years, but I would love to see what it is and what it's worth now.
Exactly. I mean, even the new stuff that's come out. Like I started doing like retail shopping. I like Walmart.
Yeah.
I started getting into some of the earlier stuff. I got rookies from Ronnie Bell, from like Jalen Hyatt.
Heck
I got
yeah.
number cards from like Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson. I've been starting to get into
it. Yes. Those rookie cards, man. Hold on to them. Those are the ones.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What's up, Big Bruce?
2 Train?
Fashionably late. 2 Train?
Sorry. You'll never live that
Potter
down.
said, he has my card. It's worth a lot of dumb money. Hey, that was from Pee Wee football, man. I gave you that years ago, man. Hold on to it. Hold on. I'm going to do something.
Sure you will. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. So, first of all, thank you guys for tuning in. Pardon my appearance. I'm trying not to die. Tonight we have a very special guest on. We have Logan Jones. Yes. I know. I'm sure I'm sounding as fantastic as I feel right now. But we have Logan Jones on the show right now. He is someone who I've actually been watching over the last couple of years in juniors and then obviously beyond. He actually was one of the first juniors I actually had seen. I never knew juniors class was a thing until I saw a show that he was actually handling for, and I was just like, oh wow, he's for someone so young. He's got this thing down. And I was just like, I want to be him when I grow up. So Logan, so how did you get into this whole dog world as far as showing, and what age did you start?
I started when I was 13. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. Me and my parents it was me, my father, and my stepmother. We were rescuing dogs, and we rescued an American Bully. And she was listed on Facebook as a $50 pit bull. But whenever we went to pick her up, the woman had actually had papers on her. And we knew the breeders originally, and we got into contact with them. And I went to my first show back in July of 2016. And that's whenever it all started. I was in some khakis and a little polo shirt. I started out from that show. I got an invite to the ABKC World Cup. That was like a few weeks back. Well, from that show. And so since then, it's just kind of started build a little clientele, and I started doing it.
Yeah.
Really?
That's awesome. When you started showing your bully first.
Yeah.
What was the first other breed that you showed?
First other breed that I probably stepped in a ring with, I want to say it might have been a Shorty Bull. I know, like, campaigning wise, the first one that I ever had at the house that wasn't a bully was a Shorty Bull.
Nice.
Diego Vasquez. It was off of Thompson's line, Shorty Bulls.
Yeah.
It was a Bronco Bully daughter, like way back in the day, like 5 years ago almost now.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
Logan, let me intervene real quick. So you're saying that y'all were like adopting and rescuing dogs, and you were going for a $50 pit bull, and it was a bully with papers, and you started showing that dog. Yeah. And that's how you got into showing.
Yeah, we were rescuing her, and we were going to be it was our foster parent situation. We were fostering her out, was going to like adopt her out eventually, but we ended up keeping her. She was a sweet dog, had nothing but love for the world, and that's what kind of got us into the bullies.
And it's evolved from that $50 pit bull that had papers that was a bully.
Right.
That's crazy.
Well,
I love these startup stories.
It was something that you really liked about that dog, or it's just something you wanted to,
it was something that I just built on it. Originally, I grew up hunting with rabbit dogs. I grew up with beagles. My grandfather, he used to have a whole farm of them, and that's something we used to do. He had ended up passing, and I haven't really done much with dogs till that point, and we were rescuing dogs. And so whenever I ended up meeting the breeders of them, they still had a couple of their old dogs, Champion Frankenstein, Papa Pump. It was some Browns kennels, like way back in the day, like 8 years ago almost now. And so it was a lot of old school edge blood. I started working her. It was like, okay, we'll take her to a show, see how I do. I got 7 first places and a second place at my first show.
Good gracious.
Yeah. I got 31st and a second in juniors, and then she took 4 first places in her age group for XL female. But that was a while ago.
Yeah. So to the point, so you were hooked. This started like it's a legacy that you're building, man. It really is.
Right.
And so I hope people understand the legacy that you're forming as we're speaking, and that you're building, because it's crazy, man. Seeing you in the ring with the dog, like if you have the lead, you have a lead, like you have an advantage because you are a very good handler.
I appreciate it.
Yes, hats off to you, man. I've seen you in the ring multiple times, and you've gone against us a few times. I'm like, oh, Logan.
I don't want to step in the ring with you. I'm just like, no, you make me look like I just woke up. Like I just.
It's definitely
very respectful, Henley.
I appreciate it.
Yes, and your dad's ringside. That is your biggest fan. Oh, Lord, yes, he's live every show, man.
Him and my mom are definitely the biggest reasons why I've been able to do what I'm doing right now. Why I've been able to get so successful. Mama, she's usually at home on the weekends, taking care of some of the other dogs. She's been whelping puppies, helping us start building our little kennel, figuring everything out, what we're going to do as far as breeding wise. And she's been able to give us the ability to travel now, like helping take care of the animals. We couldn't do it without her, not hitting the shows that we've been.
Shout out to Mama.
Right.
Yes, I respect that right there. Gotta shout out Mama. Gotta shout out Mama.
Right.
You better.
Exactly.
She's probably watching like
that and the countless hours on the road with Dad. We have originally we started traveling it was a 2016 F-150. It was a green one. We ended up putting, I think, 150,000 miles on that, and we had trashed that in Tennessee on the way back from Kentucky. And I want to say there was that same weekend we picked up the van that we use now, which is the Ford Transit, and that's got almost it's at 193,000 now, and that's just miles
That's
upon showing dogs.
mind-boggling.
Right,
That's crazy.
hours on the road on weekends.
So I'm curious, like when you initially decided, you know what, I'm gonna get in the show ring. This is what I want to do. What resources did you use to like pick up the trade essentially? Like who did you go to like, hey, teach me how to handle a dog?
Everybody.
Or did you just watch videos? Everybody?
Ron Ramos, it was the very first video I watched, was Stacking 101 with Ron Ramos, Mr. Cockpit. And that's kind of where I took the hat from. I kind of a little bit of alter ego on my handling side. You have that confidence with it, but you also have the connection with your dog. And that was something that I really learned from him. And I was very blessed to be able to talk to him and get to know him very well. And it was a very big part of how I started looking at handling from the outside in. And then with a lot of the earlier handlers, Anthony Gray, Julie Cow, Viviana Mayone, like even international handlers that have come over to the States, I've got a lot of knowledge and help from them. And I've just kind of built it and kind of try to make it my own.
That's awesome. I mean, that's one thing about this community is you can learn by watching, you can learn by asking, and a lot of these folks they'll like give you pointers as you're walking out of the ring, and it could be the first time you've ever met him.
Exactly.
I mean, I think he's John Ronacher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've known him for years.
Yeah. He didn't know me from Eve, and then I was walking out of the ring, and he just pulled me aside, not knowing me from anybody, and was just, he did exactly that. He was just like, hey, I've got some tidbits on how to, get him to gait the certain way or whatever the case may be, and I used it, and I'll be darned, it worked. So that's the way to do it. Ask everybody.
Yes, exactly. Ask everyone. Form your own way. And Logan, you formed your own way at a young age, at a very young age. Seeing you go from junior handling into the, I guess, professional handling or whatever, called at that point. But man, it's amazing to watch the evolution because you were there. You were there at a very young age, and you've transpired more and more and more. So again, hats off to you for what you're doing, man. Keep doing it. Love to see you in the ring.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
In all aspect, I believe doing juniors back whenever I started, it really helped kind of push me a bit more handling wise, because back when I had started, I was going against Destiny Myers. She was the top junior the previous years, and going against her for the first 3 years of showing, it was either do or die. You were either up to that par of handling or you were losing every time. And even then, it was knowledge too. The judges would ask us from anything. Yeah. I mean, if you weren't on it, you weren't winning that weekend.
That's the part that I always find very fascinating that they do with juniors is they quiz them, the anatomy of the dog, and it can be kind of intimidating, I'm sure, because they don't ask us that. So it's like at that point, you're already you're young, you're probably nervous, and now you have a judge not just watching you, handle the dog, but then they're like, hey, what's this part? You're like, oh no.
I mean, doing that in that aspect, it kind of makes sense for the judges wise. Also building good character and having a kid start to learn better attributes of, hey, this is how I should be taking care of my dog. This is what my dog does, how it cycles through life, how it's growing, what I should be feeding it, how I should be working with it. I mean, it's very proper knowledge. Also knowing your breed, depending on what breed you have in and out, it can really help you understand why you're winning or losing in the ring, and giving you something to breed towards as well, knowing what attributes you're wanting to produce. And I mean, I think going through about the last year, some of the judges started asking me and her breeding questions, and started asking us, because they were getting ready for us to be like adult breeders and handlers of the breed, and that's as they should, though. It helped really grow the knowledge of what I was able to do in the future.
Oh yeah, I can only imagine. It's just one of those things where knowing that you guys have to have that knowledge, like before becoming a professional handler, it's kind of reassuring, I think, for me, because it just proves that the next generations going to
Right.
do better, you know, and they're going to do better for the breed, sorry, as a whole. So I think it's really encouraging, and it's brave. It's real brave. Like watching juniors in the ring, I'm just sitting there thinking like, I couldn't have done that at that age. I was way too shy.
There's a lot of stage presence and courage because you're showing yourself to the judge. It's like, hey, I'm here. I'm doing my real thing. This is me. You got to present yourself to the best of your ability because if not, you're going to get outperformed by somebody else if you're not on top of your game.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I like what you said. And Logan, so to make sure that everyone knows, including myself and all the viewers, like with junior handling, they are judging the handler instead of the dog that you're handling, correct? Okay.
Yeah. As far as juniors, you are judged based on either your knowledge, your handling ability, and comparing you to the other junior handlers as far as what you know, how you're transferring that with your dog, how you're performing with your dog, showing the best attributes of that dog. And I mean, in some aspects, it takes knowing your faults as well, what you have, what you're showing, whether it's got a high rear, lax mangulation here and there. I mean, it depends on what you're working with.
Wow. Nice. So how does the transition take place? Like, when is that? Is it like at the age of 18, like, you know, becoming an adult? Or how does that transition take place from junior handling to adult professional handling?
And so typically when you turn 18, that's when you age out of juniors. And so from there, that's when you technically can charge and be a professional handler. I was lucky enough to be able to have a good bit of friends, and they had ended up talking to my parents like, hey, we're going to help you guys transport and show around. And that helped me get to a lot of shows. And so I wasn't receiving any money personally. The money that they were getting for me to train and handle was going to them to take care of either hotels, gas, like rudimentary costs to help us get from point A to point B to shows. And so that's when I started campaigning dogs for everybody. And I had other dogs there that weren't ours. I wasn't personally getting paid, but they were helping us get point A to point B to shows.
Yeah.
And so that was definitely a big factor that helped us through my career. And I mean, I got to meet a lot of amazing people and a lot of amazing dogs and dogs that have created generations.
Yes. And y'all actually have grand championed a dog, correct? Like, did y'all produce Prodigy, or how did that come about?
Now, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago, Mr. Tommy Soro ended up reaching out to me. I was it was the Atlanta Bully Marathon, one of Rolando's shows that he consistently has. It's a great show, and it's always fun to be there. And you see some of the top dogs come out almost every year to that show. And I met Mr. Tommy at the show, and I talked to Mr. Tone as well because they had produced a litter together. And I ended up going to Tommy's house. I had a choice between him, Baloo, and I want to say Shots Fired as well. They were all three there. I chose Prodigy out of the litter. And I started working him from there. And that's just, he started growing. He had a weird lanky stage about 9 months, but that's per average of dogs. Typically, you run into that weird lanky stage. And he ended up hitting almost about 80, 90 pounds as a bigger standard at about 9, 10 months old. And then he kept going. And he's, as far as I know, he's the only XL that Waffle House has produced.
Yes.
But I mean,
I think you're right. That's what Tom said before. Yeah.
Right. I mean, from there, he's about as big teddy bear as he could be right now. Big old cat potato, loving life.
That's crazy. And so the dog you're campaigning now, Malakara.
Yeah.
Beautiful animal. First off,
Thank you.
dang.
Y'all have her now, right?
Yes, we own him now.
Congratulations. Nice purchase.
I read that post. I was like, oh, dang. So he's like, yours. This is fantastic.
He got
That's awesome.
From Ecuador last November. And I've been talking a lot with the owner. He's actually got his first produced champion female in Ecuador. She had took 2 first places in the best females at Columbia Nationals. And about Henry Potosi, he owns her as well as her brother, I believe, which is getting ready to be starting to show, Kairos. And he's been doing a lot of good work with his productions. And I know Mala actually has some, I believe, some more kids in South America. They should be growing now.
Yeah. Very nice dog.
Right.
How many points is he away at this point from his next title in ABKC?
He's got his grand champion title. We're just pushing him up to the top 5. He's number 6 right now.
That's right. Oh man, I forgot about that. He's already there.
He's a dual grand champion, BRC and ABKC. I believe he's number 2 in the BRC still. Mm-hmm. We haven't hit many BRC shows since then, but he's number 6 to ABKC. Wow. And we've got Allentown, Statesboro, and I want to say we'll have a show or 2 more in ABKC. So hopefully we can get at least like number 5, number 4 if we can.
Dang, by nationals. So Malakar is who you're bringing for nationals, I obviously imagine.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Awesome. We had one of our viewers, Adam Fields, one of our regulars. He was actually asking what your favorite registry to show in was.
Perfect time to ask.
I give credit where credit's due. ABKC helped me build my career. I've known Kevin Anthony Pope for a while though. Back whenever they were throwing ABKC shows.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I don't have a favorite. Both the environments are great. It depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what you're showing, also location. Because, I mean, there are shows everywhere, every single weekend.
Yeah.
You want to get out, show your bully, take them to either one. You're going to have fun either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to go about it. I mean, it's great exposure
Right.
for everybody involved. For you, the dog.
Get out there, getting experience. It's always a good time. You never know who you're going to meet, never going to run into. I mean, you can start building a legacy from that. I mean, I met one of the ones who really pushed me early on was Mr. Rob Korn. He was a rep at that show in North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, Rob. Yeah.
And he was the one who ended up inviting us to that show and was helping us get a little schedule of shows together for the year. My first year, I finished. I think I was either number 5 in junior handlers, and that was like the goal was shooting for was to get to number 1, and that's what kind of pushed me to be where I am today. And it's just,
Did you get that? Did you get to that goal?
yes, sir. I was number 1 the last 3 years. I was showing until I aged out.
There you go.
Me and Destiny were going back and forth for the last years that she was aging out because she beat me in points one year, but I ended up winning junior handler at nationals. That was in Chicago. And then the year after, I was number 1 in points. It was the year she was aging out. I had set the record that year. I think it was like 3,600 points. We had hit almost, I want to say it was 49 shows that year, just about, like one almost every weekend. Like we were lucky to catch a break. And they were hitting show after show after show, and it was a journey. But I mean, it definitely built a lot of miles and dogs through that year.
Yeah. Man, you and your dad have seen some cities, some states, some experiences, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, sir. It's never
Real bonding experiences.
Oh, yes.
It's cool seeing y'all together, man. Your dad ringside videotaping you and you just being so elegant in the ring. Like, y'all have a true connection, and it's remarkable to see, man.
It was the same way with sports before I stopped doing a lot of sports. I was still playing baseball in high school. And I mean, I realized if that's what we were going to really lean into and start doing full time, I was going to be able to do money in the sports there. So that's we just kind of jumped the gun and was like, all right, we'll go ahead and kick it here.
Wow.
That's my freshman year in high school, and I've been showing still since. I started in 8th grade, and through freshman year, we were still bouncing through. It's like, okay, what are we going to do here full time? How are we going to do this? Picturing everything together, and that's kind of just how it built. Stuck with showing dogs, and now we're here. Right.
And there you go.
Right.
We present you. Hey, Bruce, you were about to ask a question, Bruce. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off a while ago. But what were we gonna ask?
I don't know now.
The old age is getting to him, Lord. I'm sorry, Bruce. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I forgot. Hey.
I have a question though. Surprise. So far, out of all the dogs that you've shown,
Yes.
who was one your favorite? Like you just love getting in the ring with this dog. And secondly, who has been the most challenging?
She said one. She made it a point to say one, Logan.
Right.
We tunneled last week when we asked that same question. There's like, and then there's
right.
Yep.
One dog probably is our personal dog, Grand Champion Karma. She's a Save a Bully. She was actually fixed, and she was my junior dog. That's who we put miles on the road, hours and hours, training, showing. She really helped me put me to where I am today. I mean, over all the studs, I mean, I've had a lot of dogs on the end of my lead. I mean, at the end of the day, she was really the one that really helped build my career. And so, did we lose?
Lost a couple people. I think we did. One second. We're adding him back. All right, I got Caleb adding back. And then now we just got to wait for 2 trains.
I'm back. No, I actually hit a comment and I was trying to actually respond to it, and it kicked me out.
No, that was me. I personally kicked you out. I kicked you out. It was fine. I was done with you.
I had enough of you tonight. But Logan, I want to make sure I heard you right, though. You said that you had the female that you started doing junior handling with. That was your favorite female.
Luna was the one that I started with. Karma, which actually was a very funny story. It was one my stepmother had. It was actually that female's cousin. I want to say it was like littermate dads or something of that sort. They was the same edge blood. And I ended up training her, working her, and that's who I started showing full time in juniors. She had a bit more responsive attitude, was a bit more in tune with me, and that was who really helped build my career as far as handling wise, or at least in junior handler.
Yeah,
I'd say so. Yeah. I mean, once you have a bond with a dog, it's hard to.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard to compare them to something else. Who's been the most difficult? Not difficult. That's challenging.
Right.
Most challenging.
so Logan, I want to know. So you're of age that I overheard a conversation of your dad that you're going to college.
Yes, sir.
So what's going to take place when you go to college, man?
I'm at NC State right now. I'm still showing on the weekends. I've got the dogs that I've trained in the past, and I've got them on rotation right now. We're showing them on the weekends, still hitting shows, still trying to go strong.
We're good then. I was worried.
Oh,
if you exited the ring for any period of time, the bully world would really lose someone that really knows how to handle dogs. And so, yeah, I definitely had to ask that, but I'm glad to hear the answer that you just presented. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely. That makes me feel much better. Again, very reassuring.
Right.
Yes.
We had Candy. Candy was asking. She has a friend whose niece is wanting to get into junior handling, and she wanted to see if you had any kind of like key things that she needs to start with as far as education and making sure that she's stacking correctly.
Two things. The ABKC website has a lot of good resourceful information for juniors. They have typically the posts and everything that they do. There used to be a couple of Facebook groups for juniors as well. If she wants to, have her message me on Facebook. I have a website for juniors. Actually, it should be pinned on my page. I made it for juniors, and I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but it's got a whole page full of information, little study like notes and stuff like that. They can go through, get to learn about the breeds more, learn about the junior handler process, and I'm making some more advanced ones. Hope I should be finishing that page up sooner or later, but I'm getting everything together for it. It's a pre-built website, but I should be like the first thing that's pinned on my page.
Wow.
There you go, Candy.
You said on the ABKC website, you are building this to help junior handlers.
It's my personal website. The ABKC website has their own little junior handler tab.
Nice.
And I was talking to them, to Rob and James and them. They didn't mind that I started working on something on the outside of it, just kind of giving them a bit easier resource of like studying wise. Like they got things that I use in school like Quizlet. You can build your own little study sets, and that's kind of help. It's the easier thing for them to use as Quizlet was.
Good on you. That's cool that you put it upon yourself to help junior handlers that are coming in instead of seeing them as, hey, I have a record. I don't want that record broken. You're like, break the record.
Right.
Yeah, break it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't see that. You don't see that
That's going to
often.
produce more handlers to come out.
There we go, man.
Yes, yeah. I love watching like really. That's one thing that nationals is always really really fun to see is like they have full classes of juniors in every age group. It's intense. It is such a thing to see. It's like my favorite thing. Like I may miss like taking lives or pictures and videos of like a few other classes here and there, but I will not miss juniors. I love it. I love it. I think it's just the coolest thing.
It's always a good show every year. I mean, you see typically the top 10 juniors just about every single time you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's like what's the goal? Like are you eventually trying to aim at being a judge, or like what's sort of what kind of where are you headed?
Goal wise, judge is definitely on there, and I've been talking to Dave and to Mr. James as well. Got to get a little resume on me. Hopefully, should start getting things in the works like that. But I'm that and probably producing better overall bullies. I mean, that's been always the goal. And I mean, I've got Mala as a stud now. I've got blood that I've been working with. I mean, not a whole lot of people really know what we have, just because we usually don't show typically most of our own dogs. Mind you, we did champ one of our first productions. It's our second generation of breedings, and it It was off of Champion California's Dreamer, bred to a female off a big boy that I got off of some good friends of ours, Andre and Rebecca Pogue up in Ohio. And that had produced our first generation Miss Mean Mug. And we ended up breeding that to Champion Soko, which is off of some Shamrock, some Lucky Blood, and some, I want to say some Demon Boy in there too. And that produced our first.
That was a good litter. That was a good litter.
That was our first production champion-wise. Champion Pink Pie. Posted her a little bit back. She just turned a year, actually. I want to say like a week or two ago.
Not.
But she's our first technically official, like, produced champion female in-house. Hopefully,
That's a good feeling.
Now that she's done, hopefully we can get a couple more in there. And I know we got a couple more in-house breeding coming up sooner or later. Got a couple of females that should be coming around.
Yeah, I like the breedings that you've been a part of in the recent, in just the recent time. There's been some very nice breedings, XL World, things like that. That I'm hoping that are good results and nice. I like them, man.
Yes, sir. Hopefully, I know Prodigy's got a breeding that he had happen actually already. Hopefully, we should be able to confirm that sooner or later. Hopefully,
Yes.
And we've got Mala. He got shipped overseas. Got a good book friend of ours now over there. Hopefully he gets confirmed as well. I've heard good things at least so far. But hopefully we get to see some footage coming around the end of the year. I'm excited to see that.
Yes.
Have you ever gone to a international show?
Yes. Back when I was campaigning them Grand Champion Big Mac from Eddie and them, they flew me down to Cancun for the show in Mexico.
Sounds terrible.
Right.
Sounds like a miserable time.
You're a professional for real.
Me and my father, and we were down there for about 4 days doing some networking. I got a good bit of fun out there. Had some good showing on Sunday. It was nice.
How'd you do?
Hey man, you know what? It's great for your father to chase you around like that, man. Hey, he's your biggest fan, man.
He is.
I'm telling you.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
They're
No doubt.
definitely my biggest supporters. They're always standing there backing me 110%, having my back no matter what's happening. I mean, they definitely have been there for me no matter what.
That is
Cancun, we took a champ win with Big Mac, but we were going against, at that time, Blue and Samson. They had split the shows 2-2.
Ooh. Y'all took a champion win though.
Yeah, it was a big class too. That was one of the bigger shows that I've been to.
That's a tough one.
So Blue
Damn.
and
How
Samson.
many dogs were in that class?
I want to say at least 20, at least, because they had split it up into the categories. There was at least, I know of, 10 plus pocket standards. I want to say around, I don't know if there's any XLs there, but I knew there was pocket standards and classics, and they had split it up. There was at least 20 to 30.
Wow. And y'all,
It's crazy when they have split classes like that. But they had to do it at nationals too, didn't they?
Yeah, typically they do that at nationals. I don't know if they're going to do it this year for grand class, but I believe they might be doing it for champion class again.
It wouldn't shock me. There's a lot of champions coming out.
hey, we have a question. I like this question. What does it say? Someone said, what class? All right, Adam did. What class do you prefer and what class do you stay away from? Just like I'm guessing in the showing.
Depends on what you're trying to get at, because typically right now predominantly pockets and standards are typically the bigger classes that you have. And yeah, I think personally I don't steer away from any class. Mind you, when you get a champion in grand class, XLs are a bit harder to win with, and that's very notable. I mean, there's only, I believe, like 9 or 10 XL grand champions period, like in existence.
I think 12.
It's like 12 it's either 12 or 13.
I know there's a couple more than one, but I mean, this is very slim to none that you see compared to the hundreds of champions and grands that you see pockets and standards nowadays.
Absolutely.
I mean, beyond that, there's nothing really to shy away from. If you got an opportunity, go for it.
I love it. I love that mentality.
Right. I mean, I've shown dogs as big as Cane Corsos, and I've shown dogs as little as French Bulldogs. I mean, that's all across the spectrum.
Yes.
That's the experience that you need. That builds you. That's that resume you were talking about.
Right.
Yep.
Just building friends and clientele in it. I mean, that's part of it.
You have definitely done that, and everywhere you go, you're known now. And y'all is traveling. Y'all are some road dogs, man. You and your dad. Like, Logan, I know you've said it a couple times, just so every viewer knows. Where are you located, and how do people get in contact with you if they would like for you? And what services do you provide if they would like to get in contact with you for those services?
Best way to get in contact with us is Facebook, typically Facebook or Instagram. I've got both. You hit me up on Messenger, whatever you feel like. We're located out of North Carolina in Winston-Salem. And so anytime we leave out, we travel, we can pick up dogs on the way. You can meet me at a show. I mean, it's just whatever you're looking for. We've offered just about everything. If you're close to the house, like typically around like North Carolina, which we've helped people out with stud services as well, AIs, and you name it. I mean, my mother does whelping as well. So, I mean, get to them on Facebook, Cindy Ken Jones. She's definitely helped us a lot with getting our productions on the ground and getting them strong and healthy.
Yes. Hey, Candy asked, what are the plans after college? Thank you, Candy. I like that.
Right now, I'm getting my bachelor's in animal science and veterinary bioscience. And after that, I'm going to be reapplying to a couple different colleges, hopefully to get my doctorate in veterinary medicine. That's long-term college.
I can see it. I can definitely see it. You would be a vet that I would definitely use. Hey, Cindy
Absolutely.
Kim. Hey,
without even second thought.
hey, they're watching. I knew they would be because they're your biggest supporter,
Right.
of course. So that's a special connection, man. That's neat to watch.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Bruce again.
The train came. The train.
He finally caught the train.
Yes.
One
Hey,
of the
Adam
two.
asked another good question. I would like to know what you say on this. He said, what dog, one specific dog, gave you the hardest time in the ring?
Made you work for
And
it.
I'm guessing now be like a dog that campaigns. So of course it's not just one time you take the lead. You know, one dog that really kind of gave you a hard time, kind of giving that champion status or something like that.
As far as getting the points wise, Luna, my first female, I finally champed her out. It took me 8 months to show that dog, to champ her out. That was probably the longest one I've ever campaigned. As far as stud wise, I campaigned Shamrock for about a month and a half, and he's a lot of dog to handle.
He's a lot of dogs in general, let alone to handle. I can't even imagine.
Right. I mean, he's a big old teddy bear. I mean, he's also a stud though. So at the same time, you got to see a lot of the stud dogs that are out. They've always got that little tentative on them.
Yeah.
Get a little stressed. They get up on their heights sometimes.
Yes. Man, I love it. So with junior handling, you're saying that age of 18, that's when you kind of transition into the adult professional handling, things like that. And junior handlers can't get paid for services, correct?
No, sir, they shouldn't. Whenever I started, we talked to James Cooper about it, and that's what I was told. He said you can accept donations as far as helping to get you point A to point B, traveling, covering like expenses like that. But as far as like getting paid, you shouldn't accept any money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much like a moral standard across AKC, UKC, ABKC.
Yeah. It's an ethics piece kind of thing.
Exactly.
Understood. What all registries have you shown under?
I've shown under the ABKC, the BRC, the BBKC back when it was still a thriving registry. And then I had opportunity to show in ASCA, which is the Australian Shepherd Kennel Club. Back when we were in Gray Summit, they let me show Karma in juniors. I ended up taking a couple junior shows over that weekend. But that's been about a couple years now. And hopefully sooner or later I'll be branching into AKC as well, showing some Frenchies and some breeds over there.
Yes. Here's your dad. Here's your mom and dad. They said BBCR. Hey, they're helping you. Oh, yeah. They're putting some registries on there.
Yeah.
They're on the side of the ring. They're going.
Exactly.
Yes. And hey, a quick shout out. I know Jonathan just put it, but Jonte Brown, Beards and Bullies. He's been sponsoring our show, and man, shout out to you. If y'all need raw, that's the guy. He's got a complete mix, actually approved by the FDA. So putting it out there, and tonight he's actually coming on at the very end.
Yes.
And he's going to be actually raffling off a shirt. So he's got some shirts that he's raffling off. So y'all stay tuned at the end of the show. I'm going to let him explain how you get into the raffle. It's not a paid raffle. It's a participation raffle. But at the end of the show, come on. We'll stay on, and he'll join us. Really, I don't know what's going on with Bruce, but yes, he might join us sooner than later. But yeah, y'all stay on. And Logan, I don't mean to take your shine, but I just want to shout him out real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah. It's cool.
Hey, and Logan, the shirt you're wearing, man. You know, I've been seeing it. Obviously, it's a brand. Tell us about the shirt you're wearing.
Mr. Kino Arroyos. I met him probably my second year around showing. I think I met him one of the first times was in Oklahoma. No, it was Georgia. It was at the World Cup. Back whenever he was campaigning a couple different dogs back in the day. He's definitely had a legacy beyond anybody could expect. I mean, it's very, very sad seeing him go. I mean, I know nobody's really expecting on anything like that, but I mean, he's definitely left a good legacy, especially his kennel, his productions, his dogs. I mean, they're way beyond the years.
Yeah.
I've got a handful of some Black Label blood, and I've known Anthony for a while as well. And it was definitely an honor knowing him. I mean, it's definitely he was also a really pronounced handler back when I was first starting, and he helped me get a good start on everything too.
Yeah. Yes, I love how you've picked up on all these handlers like you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Who is the handler that gives you the hardest time against? If you want to use a handful of them, I respect that. Use that instead of specific one.
Mm-hmm.
We're not trying to make any enemies.
Right.
Oh, no one could be an enemy of Logan. No way.
I mean, I'm always there having a good time. It's competition at the end of the day.
Yes, absolutely.
I'll let that have fun in the ring too. Hannah, Paulina, Devin, I always love showing against them. We always got good competition, great dogs showing against each other. You never know who's going to win sometimes. I mean, it's always fun being in the ring with them. Felix and Pablo and Preston, I always judge around with them. We've always had a good time showing them. It's always great seeing other handlers. And you kind of get a repetition seeing all the professional handlers that we go against around the area.
Yeah. And you've gained respect as a junior handler. So as transitioning into a professional handler, they were like, let's get ready. We've been competing against this guy since he was a very, very young age.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong. So this year is coming down between Christine and Preston in a junior handler. Yes, that's a close.
That's what the numbers are looking.
It's going to come down to it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're very, very intelligible people. I've competed against them back whenever I was aging out. I've lost to both of them before. I mean, they're really good kids, learning the ropes, getting everything straight.
Yes.
Yeah, it's again very impressive. It's like I want to be them when I grow up. I want to be all y'all when I grow up because
definitely way
you guys
beyond
have
their years
it
and
down at such a young age. It's amazing.
Right.
Yes. And for you to start, man, so young, and I'm hitting on that because obviously we're talking about the junior handling, and I know we've talked about kind of what information and things like that you're putting on the website and what they need to know. But give us a little insight on, kind of what the judges are asking, because you said it's not only based on your performance, but based on your knowledge. So what type of questions are they kind of asking? Because I've been in the ring with my daughter jumped in there in Columbus, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
She was like 5 at the time. So it was very, very basic questions, but it was so cool to see her out there.
Right.
So as you're transitioning, kind of how does the questions transition, and what are the questions that transition into more questions?
Typically earlier age kids, you get asked like, what's your dog's name? What type of food does your dog eat? And you start getting asked some just basic structural questions like where the stifle is, the hock, just kind of building their knowledge on what they should like. Hopefully end up learning more of whenever they get more into junior handler. And we start aging up into the 8 to 13 categories. You get some more structural components of it. Start asking a bit more knowledge on like what gives your dogs like heartworms. How does dog cool itself off? So you start branching into more of the health side of it too. And I mean, getting into the open side of it, looking wise, more so knowing the faults you breed, knowing everything starts like coming together. What an ideal Frenchie, English, bully, what you're handling, or it could be like what your opponent's handling.
Yeah.
And knowing like your own dog's faults. I mean, it just depends on like what stage you're at and like how often the judge sees you as well. If you're like a constant competitive shower, they're going to challenge you a bit more, giving you a bit more of a challenging question compared to some of the ones that they might see once or 2 times a week independent.
Absolutely. I like that. Hey, so as a shower, Logan, what is the biggest flaw that's the hardest to present the best way possible?
You're just like, I love the way you worded that.
Shorter upper arms. It's not something that's very visible, but it affects a lot. It can affect top line. It can affect movement. You have dogs that lack angulation, that have like certain issues like that. You can fix that. Handlers can hide a lot. Have some easty westy. You can fix it. I mean, it's something you can stack out of a dog, and being a handler, you start getting the hang of it more. No, lost him again. But
I don't know what.
He can't have nothing nice. You can't take him anywhere.
Hey, real quick, Logan, too, man. I want to let you know, like with your presence tonight, you've actually got some world-renowned handlers that are watching. I'm continuing seeing these Tristan Batista, shout out, my boy.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony Gray, shout out, respect. Hannah Aiba, man, there's some very Corey Latham, Vicky, very, very world-renowned handlers. And
Mm-hmm.
again, man, you've been doing it, and you've gained this respect, and that's why people are watching tonight, and they're watching how you've developed and became this world-renowned handler. So again, man, just want to give you, again, just your flowers while you're on, because
Oh, yeah.
you're doing your thing, you've done your thing, and you're going to continue to do your thing. And I'm glad to sit here and talk to you and be a part of what you're about to do. I'm watching. I'm rooting for you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Bruce, what's going on, man? I gotta ask.
Man,
what's going on down there, man?
Every time I even touch my screen, it goes away.
Don't touch it.
It goes out.
Don't
I'm
touch it.
I'm not touching it no more.
Don't touch
Hey, look,
nothing.
people responding to me, and it seems like I got. See, look at Jonathan. See what I'm saying? I'm not touching it no more. I'm not touching the screen.
Just
man.
give him a nod. Give him a nod.
Just blink twice.
Man.
Hey, Logan, Corey Latham wants to know. He said, ask Logan what we are wearing at the next show.
Y'all do dress alike. I'm sorry, y'all dress alike. It's
We
precious.
is all in caps. It's 2 letters, but it's all in caps. So there was an emphasis on we.
A funny story. It was actually Columbus. We and them went to the bathroom and changed at the same time. We started walking out, and I swear we walked out. We were like, "Did we just become best friends?" We were wearing the same colors. Had like a little moment. I was like, "It really just happened, didn't it?"
That's like stepbrothers.
Right.
We just become best friends.
Exactly. And I've known it for years, and it's always been good competing against them. They got Grand Champion Chubb right down there. They've been producing dogs. They actually produced Shoko, which is the one who would help produce my first production champion, or our first kennel production champion as us. And so they've definitely been a good part of the journey as well. They got their Frenchies now too. They've definitely got a good camp down there.
Yes.
Hey,
I
Tristan
personally
said
have one
this.
from them.
Tristan put, man, I remember baby Logan with the little cute hat. Laugh out loud, laugh out loud, laugh out loud. And he said, now he's my height and shit. So I want to know, Logan, because you had this very distinct look. You had this very distinct look, and that's what Tristan's hitting on.
That's
is
the hat, yeah.
You had the vest, you had the blue or the pink. Like, man, you looked suave out there. The hat, you kind of transitioned from it. Tell me about that transition. Like, are you still using the hat, or because last time I saw
as long
you,
as I can put
you did.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't like talking about his flair, Caleb.
Hush your mouth.
No, the fedora is something I got on. Fedora is something I picked up from Mr. Ron Ramos way back in the day. And I typically had shorter hair. Now I got a whole head of hair, and I got a little man bun going. It's a little harder to wear here and there. I still try to bring it out at the shows. I'll have it with me in Allentown.
There we go. Okay.
Nah.
Hey, I wanted to clarify because it's your look.
Good luck, peace. Good luck, peace.
Oh yes, sir. I've had a lot of good moments with the fedora on the head.
Tristan said, F that hat, I'm grown now.
Oh man.
Yo. Oh my God.
You can always see your presence though, because the hat and the look and how you handle a dog. So even if it's behind, and Hannah put, that's the swag. That's that swag, and absolutely right.
Yeah.
You built this image. You built this, persona that you carry, and your dad ringside videotaping. People that don't know you because y'all
you'd be surprised.
built this.
You'd be very surprised. You start to hear, like, especially whenever I went to South America, a lot of people recognize the fedora alone, and it was like, oh, it's that kid. And I was like, okay, this is definitely different. I remember stepping outside, and we had just got to the airport, and me and my father, we had sat down at one of the little cafe kiosk things. We were drinking some water before our little shuttle thing got there. And I kid you not, we were sitting there, and it was a couple that was right across from us. He had sat there. They were from Texas. They were vacationing. Wasn't even there for the show or nothing. He was like, you that kid that shows dogs? I was like, yeah, elaborate. And he was like, yeah, I seen you all over Facebook. Me and my wife went. He didn't even know there was a show going on. He was just on vacation. He had Frenchies, and he ended up seeing me on some of the bully pages. And he was like, yeah, you that kid? I was like, yeah, it's good to meet you. And it's crazy. You would never think that Facebook or like something like that would get like a lot of that image for you. And I've been told even by Mr. Dave Wilson, He said, when you come overseas, you got that hat. People are going
There
to
we
recognize
go.
you know who you are.
Oh, the hat.
Yeah, so definitely still use the hat.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah,
never
it's
too
definitely.
grown for the hat.
Oh no, that's who I started with. That's how I started. It'll always be part of it.
Man, hey, so Corey put this. This is some funny stuff, man. He looks like a Cuban drug lord running around in the junior handlers class.
You,
Right.
you got to be careful. It's like calling me something like Cabo or something.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Like my real.
So Logan, so you and your dad have traveled far and few, man, all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about a trip that's memorable, because I'm sure there's one that kind of at the tip of the brain that's like
a good question.
Memorable one. One of them would be the trip that I did to California. I flew out by myself. It was when I was campaigning Big Mac. That was the very first time I got traveled by myself. I got put on a plane in Charlotte, flew all the way to California for 8 shows. I champed out Big Mac, got a couple of champ wins there. I stayed with Eddie and Jesse, his owners, and they definitely gave me a good experience. I got to see some old clients that I had from Arizona as well. Jose, he's got Grand Champion Gambino, number 5 dog in the country. I mean, I'm definitely very lucky to have those experiences. I mean, as well, Cancun was definitely a memorable trip. I got to see some amazing sights, meet some amazing people. And I mean, one of the very first nationals. It was one of the very last family trips that we could do before we had to start going and splitting between me and my father driving instead of all 3 of us going.
Yeah.
And it was in Louisiana that year. Mr. Ron Ramos was the nationals judge for the Bullies. That was the first year that I competed in nationals. I got to see Destiny win, and I got to see Actor win. Rocco had Granded at that show. It was a very big moment. I got to see the French Quarters for the first time. I mean, it was definitely all around a very through and through experience.
Bourbon Street.
Right.
Don't tell anybody what you did to get those beads, son. Don't
Yes.
Don't do it. It's a trick.
Hey, so recently there's been some pictures that have surfaced, and you with Rocco, like handled Rocco.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
That's at my PCK show. They used to be one of my sponsors when I was showing the juniors. Mr. Rick and Julie Wilson. They're amazing people. They had Grand Champion Bo Cephas. I had a son off of their dog, actually, Champion Bang. We still have him at the house. He's sitting in my room right now, probably actually laying on his pillow. I mean, there's some amazing people. They had some great shorty bulls too. And I mean, they had that show a while back when Barry was still running for Top Dog, and was showing as well. I mean, part of that I've been very fortunate to see a lot of the top dogs come around and a lot of the top producing studs.
Yeah.
And how their legacies have grown.
So
I got the honor to show Rocco. I took a grand win with him. We lost breed to a Grand Champion El Chapo. There's a very beautiful, big fawn male that was showing back. I haven't seen him in a while, but he was a beautiful dog. I think it was a lucky production too, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah.
Dang.
Logan, so you said that you still have him, that he's back at home. So you're in college right now.
Yes, sir.
You're in your dorm room. Wow.
Dang.
Couldn't tell by the bunk bed he's been like right.
Right.
I thought maybe they got visitors, like, hey.
What are you doing under the pull-out couch, sir? What are you doing?
Right.
Man, that's some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
I bet that's been a journey.
But it's been a big transition, but one that's going to help push my future forward, push me in the right direction.
That's right. Yeah.
That's that. I mean, those are some big goals. I mean, veterinary services. That's a hard road on top of doing what you're already doing. And that's just, man, I'm proud of you. That's
I am
huge.
too. Yeah.
Yes,
no doubt.
Absolutely, man. Even tonight, you're probably like, I got a test tomorrow, man. Y'all taking my time.
I know. I keep looking at the time like, okay, so don't keep them on it too terribly long.
Talking about dogs is definitely a good little peace of mind for me. It's something that I've gotten very comfortable with, something I've grown on. So it's definitely a good thing talking about it too.
Hey, Logan, so again, back to Step Brothers, did we become best friends? I think this is a thing with Corey. He said bunk beds, so much more room for activities.
Man.
Oh, Logan, how many dogs have you championed and grand championed with lead in your hand?
I've championed over 60 plus dogs at least. Then that's champion alone over the past 8 years. Grand champion, taking it from champion to grand, about 40 some now, I believe.
Wow.
And then there's at least probably 10 to 15 that I've took that have been pre-champion that I've granted out.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to have you take one of mine then.
Man, he got that touch, ain't he?
Notch in your ever notched belt.
Yes, he does have that touch. So if you're campaigning a dog, kind of what are the restrictions for you to take that dog and sit there and tell them, like, do you turn down dogs, or like how does that process work if people want you to, hey, take my dog and make them great and bring them back to me? Like what's the process of that?
Typically they'll get in contact with us. Typically it's like an evaluation of a dog.
Okay.
If they want, we can take them to a couple shows, get judges' opinions. Doesn't turn out the way they're liking, we can send them back. I mean, it all depends on the owner, what they're wanting done. I mean, there has been cases where we turn dogs down because they're not really necessarily up to par with what I believe we should be bringing into the ring.
Absolutely.
But there are other dogs that have like structural or the mass, have the structural or mass capabilities about proper breeding dogs that could be potentially useful in a breeding program for what people are looking for.
I was hoping you were going to hit on that, and that's kind of why I said that too, because there needs to be a show quality and breed quality stock, and I'm glad that you said that, because for you to sit there and say I'm not going to take your money because maybe you can spend this on something that's show quality, and that's not a jab at the owner of that dog or anything like that, but I like that you said that, because there needs to be a difference. There needs to be a division between that, and I'm glad that you hit on that, so thank you. Hey, real quick, my brother just viewed in, and this is Logan. I don't know, you're not even wearing a hat. You brought my brother. It's the first time my brother's ever viewed in. We've been doing this for almost a year. It took you coming on to bring him on. What's up, Tyler?
The journey continues.
Yes, man.
Bringing us all together, Logan. Look at you go.
So y'all look, if y'all want to go show dogs to win, Logan at school now, y'all probably can win since he ain't there. So beat him to the show.
This is your only chance. Get it in all lab.
Get him while he's down.
They are still showing though, correct? Like on the weekend. Like, are you
still making them the 6 show in Virginia, and we'll be hitting Allentown, not this weekend, but next weekend, and then the weekend after that, I believe it's Statesboro, Georgia. We're hitting out too.
So, I think Statesboro.
So you're not really slowing down too much, even with this, the college life and things that are, that could distract you from it. Like you're still going full force.
Taking the time off, training dogs. I mean, just making sure we get the process going, making sure we got the dog still showing, looking proper in the ring.
How far away is the college from your house? Like from the main?
About an hour 15.
That's not too bad.
It's not bad.
So Ken pretty much pulls up, like Michigan pulls up pretty much like every Friday night, Saturday morning, like, come on.
Every Friday, depending we got to leave early, hit the road, like, all right, we'll be up for the show. Here we go.
That's awesome, man. That's incredible right there. Just the dedication, and there's so few people that have the dedication and that you've had this fire, and when people see you, this fire that burns within you, and it's hard to get a word in with you at shows because you're so busy, and you're such a friendly guy. You really are. So that's not a you want to make time for people, but you're literally going, like, I hear them on the intercom, like, Logan, oh, he's in ring 2, like he's in show 2, like give him a minute. And you're literally hustling, like you don't sit down at these shows. Like, man, again, respect to you. And how do bathroom breaks work for like handlers? Like,
if we can't win this break.
Hey,
that's not even considering taking the dogs out to go to the bathroom between everything too.
Yes, like you gotta like dehydrate yourself for this show. Like man, it's football players, things like that, kind of talk about it as they progress and retire. Mm-hmm. But the same thing, like, man, God forbid an upset stomach. Like, oh my god,
that's a bad day for everybody.
Right.
Gosh.
Bad enough you got dogs pooping in the ring.
All right.
No doubt.
It's a whole process working on it.
But man, so you got a booked up, end of, going into nationals, and then, you said that you're bringing your boy to nationals.
Mm-hmm.
So man, and your boy's number what out of overall?
He's number 6 right now.
Nice.
We got 6 breed wins, I believe. Bambino's at number 5, and I think he's got 7, and then from there it keeps going up. Frank the Tank, I believe, is one of the Cali dogs, one of the ones that's on the West Coast. He's at number 4, and then you got Art, which is a South American dog. He's at number 3. You got Zeus and Hangman. I mean, Marlon's been competing against him.
Yeah. So you and number 5 is not a big. It's not a big spread difference. Like, it's obtainable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I can, I want to get into the top 5 at least, if not a little higher.
We are backing you. We are rooting you.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
That's
yes.
awesome.
All right. So the debate between West Side, East Side dogs. I'm sure, seen a lot of dogs. What is the hardest competition? Is it going to the West Coast, or obviously your East Coast? So
meet in the middle. Nationals is always the hardest competition.
There we go.
The
best political answer that you could have possibly came up with, but the best answer.
Beautifully safe. It was a beautifully safe answer.
Yes. You never know who you're gonna go against. Because I mean, showing in America now, you got people all from South America coming up competing against us now. They don't have as many shows, and so that's the best way to get their dogs in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And a big shout out to them, because that's also a lot of dedication and money going to it as well. I mean, they've been doing it.
Absolutely, and that was the perfect answer, and that was a real answer. Of course, I'm just giving you a hard time.
Oh, I know.
But yeah, but yeah, at nationals, man, if the people that are viewing in, if you haven't gone to nationals, man, go just for the experience. It's the amount of dogs, the amount of handlers, and the presentation. Man, it's just incredible. The time you get Amanda, that's where we actually met last year, and we were just
for the first time met in person. Yeah.
Yes. All right. So hey, someone did ask. Furman Broom said, "How old are you, Logan?"
I'm 20. I turn 21 next April.
You handle yourself at such a mature, such a difference, man. Like, the way you're answering questions, the way you're formulating sentences, the way you articulate yourself, your presentation when we see you, no one would expect a 20-year-old man. Like, you've been here before. Like,
very, very.
Hey, but you know what, Caleb? He lived this. So the questions are easy for him to answer. You know what I mean? Because he's been living it the whole time.
That's what Juniors is about. That's the whole point of Juniors. That is the whole thing, is to produce, awesome people like Logan. To just make make the breed better, make the community better from start to finish.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yes. Hey, Logan, we're not going to keep you too much longer, but man, we really try to gear this towards people that are getting into showing, that are breeding and things like that. And you've done it at juniors and transition into adult and things like that. So what's the best advice that you could give? Doesn't matter the age. What's the best advice you could give someone getting into showing or breeding, or one of each?
Reach out to people. Don't be afraid to ask questions. You're going to get help one way or another, whether it be a judge, a handler, somebody that's starting out. They can always get an arm. I mean, it doesn't matter who you reach out to. I mean, at least in the community itself, you should be able to reach out to just about anybody. Like, hey, I like your dog. Hey, I like the way you handle. And you start formulating from there. That's how you start reaching out, getting business opportunities, meeting new people, having new contacts. And that's all it takes. As far as breeding wise, breed for the standard. You see a lot of people, and I mean, I'm not knocking that's their type of dog, all for it. You can do as you please. As long as you can take care of your productions, at least breeding to what you can handle, then go ahead. But everybody at least should be breeding for the standard.
At minimum.
Thank you. Yes, I completely 100% agree with that, because the standard's set for a reason. Going outside the standard is going away from the breed. So thank you. We had a question too, and we hit on this earlier, but kind of towards the wrapping this up, someone said, "Who is your number one mentor?"
I give flowers where flowers to do. Mr. Ron Ramos, he was definitely probably the biggest inspiration when I started.
Yeah.
I mean, respect every single handler I've competed against. I've learned from. When I compete against you, I take notes. If I lose from you, I understand why. If you had a better dog, if you're doing something better handling wise, that's all it takes. Because I mean, if you're in that place, you want to win. I mean, that's the end goal. You want to be the best in the ring, and that's everybody's goal for the entire year: being the top dog, winning at nationals. I mean, that's the process of it. I mean, you want to win, you want to compete against the best. You're gonna have to get your A game up there. Whether you're producing a better dog, getting better at handling, being a better competitor. I mean, having good sportsmanship is a very big part of it. I mean, you get a lot of bad narrative about people being negative in the community, and that's always around. It's going to be around because people are going to be upset one way or the other because something's not going to go everybody's way. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about the dogs that we're producing. Because I mean, we're trying to make a better breed and a better community for ourselves.
Again, it's all about the dogs, or it's about nothing at all.
Right.
Man, you said some stuff right there that, man.
He did.
Yeah, seriously.
He sure did. No doubt.
People that are viewing in, please listen to this man right here talking. Like, man, it's the sportsmanship, the learning from one another, just the collaborating and the knowledge being shared, and him going on the ABKC site and helping junior handlers. Like, it's like almost like a mentorship that you're almost transforming into, even with just your words that they can kind of study off of. Man, you had my respect before we talked tonight, but you really, really have my respect now, just because, I've seen the complete side of you. I've seen you in the ring and I've seen the sportsmanship, but for you to talk about it and articulate it and talk about the knowledge that you're passing on, you keep doing your thing, man. Greatness is...
Oh yeah, please don't ever stop. Don't ever stop.
Yes.
For real. Anybody have any last minute questions? Anybody? This man needs some sleep. He's on Eastern time.
Yes. Hey, and OG's Ramos, but Logan is an amazing young man since day one. Man, there's people that are really praising you in these comments and sending you your flowers, man, and you deserve it.
100%. Absolutely.
And your stepbrother loves your bunk bed.
Yeah, you're twinning. You're twinning. Really, really love having you on.
Oh man, that's some good stuff, man. Corey's a funny. That's a cool dude right there.
Yeah, we thought it was a good time when hanging out.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's a hoot.
Yes. But hey, as we're wrapping up, I know John Tay wants to get on. Logan, if you want to stay on, I will remove myself because
no, y'all look. I'll let John Tay let him stay on. I'll back out. Y'all know me. I love give people chances. Let John Tay come on. I'll just keep watching.
Have to go catch that other train.
Yeah, no. Bruce, hey, appreciate you, my man. We'll talk tomorrow.
Hey, nice talking to you, Logan.
Oh yes, sir. Good to see you as well. Hope we see you in the future.
All right.
Bye, Bruce.
Bye.
2 trains?
2 trains? Now we just gotta see. Okay, let's see here.
Yeah, so everyone that's viewing in, just kind of give you an insight on what's taking place. John Tay Brown's coming on. He's been a sponsor of our show for the last 2 months. Really helped us, kind of growing into a platform that we're growing into. And he has some things that he would like to say to people tonight. So John Tay, man, take the floor.
Hey, what's up, Logan?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Hey, glad to see they got you on, brother.
Yes, sir. Good to see you as well. And also, flowers to do. You got a beautiful English you've been winning with. Congratulations with him.
Hey, appreciate it. We're gonna try to do something. We might be coming to Georgia, so we'll see. We'll see. Oh yeah. So yeah, I want to take the time to thank Caleb and Amanda and Bruce, Bully Talk Tuesday. Also, Logan, thank you for sharing your floor tonight. Yeah, I started making some shirts. I don't know if you can see it, Raw Doggy. And hey, that ain't the worst of it. We going in all the way.
Come on, but it's still good.
So yeah, just pushing what I do, my raw dog food and so on and so forth. Even my kennels based behind it is Beers and Bullies. And I just really want to support the guys on Bully Talk. Tuesday for what they're doing, man. Giving out the knowledge, putting people in front of the camera to be able to have a platform to do what they can do. And I'm always support this dog community because dogs have changed my life.
Yeah.
On a scale next to none. So yeah, but I just wanted to do a raffle for the show. Bring some people on, get it out there. Playing around, we pressing shirts right now in the front of the house, but I'll show y'all a couple of them to let you see.
There we go.
You can't see that one too good, but they say real dogs like it raw. So yeah. So yeah. Like I said, we doing it, man. I obviously gonna push the bullet community, and the way this raffle worked, I made a post, and I think I got everybody's name in it. If I didn't, then this definitely will not be the last raffle on Bullet Talk Tuesday unless they kick me off for real dogs not liking it raw. You know how I say. But
We real dogs now.
hey, real dogs. Hey, you were selling. Hey, that real dog you were trying to sell in the parking lot today.
Man, go on.
So yeah,
Oh.
but yeah, like I said, I just to put some, trying to
There we
double
go.
check and make sure. Let me go back. I think I forgot somebody.
All right. So before we start this, though, Jonte, how did they get incorporated into this raffle? How did their name get brought into this? How are they a part of this?
Oh yeah. I made a post. I made a post a couple days ago, and I told everybody that liked, shared, and commented on the post, name got entered in, and I shared it across a couple different platforms, and so on and so forth. So it's not nothing you got to pay for if you're out of state and you win. If I'll ship it to you at my expense, and that's how much I thank everybody for supporting
Yeah.
Bully Talk Tuesday and Beers and Bullies.
Absolutely.
Just across the board, I'm super grateful, super thankful. So yeah, like I said, I think I got everybody's name. If I didn't, it's all. I promise you, I plan on doing another one, so we can definitely knock one out.
So,
In the
Jonte,
upcoming weeks.
yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
people know for like next week or the week after, just going forward. So to be entered into this, you're going to present this like during the course of the week on a certain day, things like that. Certain posts that they have to share, like, comment, and their names brought into it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just simple as that. Just simple as that.
Nice.
So that's why I said,
That's easy.
depending on how what y'all got going on and so on and so forth,
Absolutely.
we can
I love it.
we can do one in next week, or we can do one in the next coming week. And
Yeah.
however y'all want to do it.
Heck yeah.
Super grateful. Logan, get with me. I'll send you one. I'll put you on.
There we go. Hey, that's
on
good
your
stuff
back.
right
So
there.
yeah.
We're good. I know we appreciate you.
Let's get him a
Hey, well,
PG-13. Don't be sitting there sending him. He's in college, man. Don't be sending him a raw doggy and all that.
Or
hey,
maybe
look,
do. I don't know. That might. I don't.
we got those. We keep it wholesome
Call
here.
some
We keep it
leaders
wholesome.
now.
Yes. Ken,
Oh,
I'd say it for you, Ken. I'd send it.
Parents
Ken,
are
I'd say
watching.
it for y'all.
oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey, look. I mean, that's wholesome.
it's
But yeah, let
wholesome.
me let's see. We'll get it.
Let's get it started.
Yeah. Y'all ready?
Yep.
Everybody smash their hearts. That's what I need. Everybody here watching, smash your hearts.
I like that.
Support these guys. Bring it on.
There we go.
Yeah. Support these guys. So yeah, let's look like it decorated. We're gonna hit this thing. Wow. Okay, so Mika is actually putting on the ICBR
Heck
show
yeah.
this
Yes.
weekend, October the 14th, in Mobile, Alabama. I think Bullet Pride will be down there. Or they supposed to be.
Yep.
So yeah. Hey, that's a great one.
Yeah, it is.
Great moment. So shout out to her,
Congratulations.
Jamaica.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So yeah,
Get to in
I'll get
person.
with her and get it in. And Logan, send me your shirt size or whatever.
I got you, bro.
All right, bro. And hey, like I said, I appreciate y'all Bully Talk Tuesday for bringing me on.
Oh yeah.
Go
Always a
press some
pleasure.
more shirts, make some more dog food, and clean some kennels.
Always
That's
keep it
right.
keep it raw and keep it doggy. Oh, but yes.
Oh yeah. Hey look, I walk around like that all day. I raw dog.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah.
Man,
goodness gracious.
thank you for joining us, and thank you for the viewers. And Logan, man, a special thank you to you, seriously.
Yes, sir.
Man, for you taking the time to join us, the knowledge that you were
For
able
real.
to share, the encouraging words, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, man.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
Awesome. Well, we're proud of you, and thank you, Jonathan, for coming back on. And we'll look forward to having that raffle set up for next week as well. And
Okay. Yeah.
you guys all have a good night.
Hey, Logan, hey, real quick. Hey, Corey said this. I got to read this before we get off. He said, Logan, get one big enough for both of us to wear at the same time.
Oh man.
He's your brother. I don't know.
Right.
Oh, man. That's some good
He's a
stuff.
dude.
Yes.
Man.
All right.
Hey,
Well,
good night.
on that note,
Right.
Yes.
I'll
Hey,
see you
thank you
guys
again.
later. Thank
Y'all
you.
have a
Yeah.
good night. Thank you,
y'all.
Logan. Hey,
You
talk to you
too.
soon, man. Y'all take care.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye.
All right,
Bye,
bye, y'all.
guys.